I think the best poker player in the world's got to be Phil Ivey.
And Ivey's, he's a total fucking sicko.
He's Phil fucking Ivey.
He's the best player in the world as far as I'm concerned.
The last person you want to mess with is Phil Ivey.
Phil Ivey.
Phil Ivey.
The world famous Phil Ivey.
Phil Ivey.
Phil Ivey.
Ivey is the greatest poker player on the planet.
And the player widely considered to be the greatest in the game, Phil Ivey.
Phil Ivey #1!
That's why he's the world's best, Phil Ivey.
Celebrity aspect been strange for you?
You know what? It was weird in the beginning, but now, like anything else, you get used to it. In the beginning, when people were asking me for my autographs, I thought it was, but now, you get used to it, so.
And do you feel like more of a pressure to kind of control your message now and to control your image?
You know what? I really don't think about those things, to be honest with you. I don't think about, like, controlling my message or my image. I'm just me. That's it. People like it or they don't. And, hopefully they do.
When you were in Atlantic City and learning how to play and as a telemarketer, making money to go and play poker, turns out you're a good telemarketer too. But you go play poker and then you decided to go to LA and play in the Larry Flynt private game.
What had happened was I played the Larry Flynt game and I went broke. Not went broke, completely broke, but went down to where like I had a $170,000 bankroll, also $150,000 in the Larry Flynt game. I saved $20,000, played 8160. So I built it all the way back up to like 200,000. I think the first day I lost 50,000. And the second day I played, I was gonna go back down to 20,000 I had originally started with. And I said, if I lose this, I'm just gonna play 8160 until I build it back up again. And I end up getting all the way down to like 4,000 or 5,000 left in front of me, and I ended up running it up from there. That was a big turning point for me because that ended up winning, I don't know, 150,000 or so that day. And then I won the next time, then I won the next time. And then I had a bankroll to play.
Let's go back to your start in poker. Your first World Series bracelet came in 2000. Was that your first World Series that you had ever attended?
That was the first year I ever played the World Series.
And you cashed 3 times, and you got heads up against Amarillo Slim. Did you know who Slim was at the time? Or?
Yeah, I knew. They made a big deal of it. I remember the feeling, I remember his facial expressions, I remember the hands, I remember everything about it. It was pretty special to be able to play him heads up.
When you first started playing the big cash games, there was widely publicized Andy Beal versus a corporation of professional players like yourself.
It started with Andy Beal around 2000. I just strolled into the Bellagio and they were playing 1 in 2000 with this stranger I didn't know. He asked somebody, do they play higher? We couldn't afford to play higher. So we decided, well, how about this, Andy? We'll just pool our money together. You play with one person and you guys play heads up.
Guy's a very tough player, to be honest with you. He's very aggressive, knew when to bet, knew when to check, knew when to bluff. A very aggressive player, tough to beat in limit hold'em.
And I think we lost the very first time to him.
And I heard the players were actually down.
Yeah, the players were actually down going into that session. I'm not sure the exact number they were down, but it was a significant amount.
Because the limits were so high, but after 5 or 10 minutes, you get kind of used to it, and it's just like a poker game.
I was playing every day. I played a lot of limit hold'em in my life up to that point. I ran really good. If I didn't beat him, the poker world would have been in big trouble.
It's rumored that you like to play high-stakes craps and high-stakes baccarat. Do you get more of a rush playing baccarat, craps, poker? Which one's or is it all the same?
Poker's different from baccarat craps. I have to do a lot more thinking in poker. I don't really feel a rush when I play poker. I'm so much living in my head, so much thinking about the opponents that I don't really have time to feel that way. But like when you're playing craps, you're in the middle of a big roll, it's exciting.
In terms of the stakes that you play when you play games like craps or baccarat, I'm going to read you a quote in Cigar Aficionado a couple years ago. I don't think the dollar level is recreational. Is there any truth in that you're a big gambler?
I don't like to use the word gambling with poker because poker is not gambling. But like any other games, I don't gamble big for my reputation. I gamble big because that's what my bankroll allows me to do. Again, I like to have some sort of advantage when I play. Sometimes I don't, sometimes I do.